in life. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I give our faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I give our faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I heal by faith. Now I believe. All fired up. All fired up. All fired up. All fired up, fired up, fired up. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I heal by faith. We on, Jim?
Yes, we are.
Woohoo! And I love challenges.
Renee, I gotta say, if I could interrupt, thank you so much. You are a pleasure to work with. You make a stressful situation non-stressful.
Well, you can't worry about like what you can't do. You got to worry about it getting it done, and that's So that's what we do. We work as a team to accomplish the goal. And as everybody can see, we're not able to stream through Facebook. By the way, I'm ReneMarie. This is the ReneMarie Stroke of Luck TV show, and we got a great show that Judy put together. Two shows. But what I was saying was Jim was having some Facebook challenges. We tried to stream through mine. We couldn't. We had to download, and then we just switched gears and did it through YouTube. So you'll be watching it through YouTube on Facebook, and I just love it. I shared it to Judy's page, to Steve, our guest page, and it's remarkable. Life is incredible. Life is incredible. You gotta just see what you could do with the challenges that are dealt to you. So thank you, Jim. Thank you for working with us.
Thank you.
So this is a really, both shows are really important, and they have multiple reasons why I just thought they were valuable. So valuable for you to see. And as we go through today, you will see that Steve, our guest, who is from Body Mind Dynamics. I actually viewed Steve on Facebook, and he was so dynamic. His energy was through the roof. Just his positivity, the way that he approached life, his joys in life, it was infectious. It was infectious. So I Facebooked him and asked him if he would be a guest on the show, and here we are, like a week later doing it, or 2 weeks later. I don't even remember how long, but it was incredible. So before I begin, I want to say hello to Judy. Hi, Judy. How are you?
Hi, Renee. Good.
I'm glad you're here, and thank you so much for doing today's show. It just, coordinating it. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. And good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Great. And how are you? Great seeing you. Great to see everyone. Happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday. Before we get into the topics of the show, and Steve could tell us a little bit about what he does and his background and all that information, and we get into a nice, really conversation, which we always do. I would like to
share with everybody that these two shows are dedicated to. Jim, am I on? Can you highlight me so
Yes, ma'am.
that
It's on. It's on.
it's on? I'm
Yep.
on. Okay. So I really just wanted to give dedication and grace to my dear Sister Grace. She passed this past Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And she was an incredible individual. You could take it down, Jim.
Okay.
She and you know, am I going to be on the screen by myself just so I could clip
Sure.
this and show the and provide it to the Salesian sisters? So Sister Grace was back a long time ago after my stroke. I guess it was 10 or 15 years after my stroke. And as much as I was living life, I still wasn't all put together. I was still in search. That's what I was. I was still in search of what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And I was so, you know, and Sister Joanne, my children went to St. Anthony's School in Hawthorne. I also went to there. And my mom went to Mary Help of Christians. I went to camp at Mary Help of Christians. So I have a lot of history with Mary Help of Christians. So when I got a food service job, Pumptonian Food Service, which is the best food service in the world, Sister Joanne asked if I could, she was a principal at St. Anthony's School. She asked if I could look into getting the food service for the Catholic school, Mary Help of Christians. So anyway, going fast forward, that happened, and I was a food service director for Mary Help of Christians. To go to work every day, and Sister Grace would scurry on down and make a cup of coffee, a pot of coffee in the morning before I got there. And we'd sit there and we'd pray and we'd have a cup of coffee together. It was such a moment in time for me because it really gave me the balance and the understanding of what was important in life. And it was an incredible situation, moment. So I found out that Salesian sisters run Adopt a Sister program, and that helps support the elderly sisters that are in the St. Joseph's retreat home in Mary Help of Christians in North Haledon. So of course I adopted Sister Grace, and every day she'd pray for me. Every day when she went to her novenas, whatever she was doing, I was always in her prayers, always got handwritten cards from her, birthday, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, whenever it was, I got it. And I always knew that she was there praying for me. So when Sister Rinaldi called me that she had passed, the last thing that Sister Grace told me here on this earth was to keep doing my stroke work, because she passed of a stroke. And I quickly spoke to Sister Rinaldi, so I'm not quite sure, but Sister Rinaldi told me she didn't suffer long, and I believe she had a massive stroke. So I knew, our lives here on earth we're going to leave when we're ready to leave. It's not in our hands. So I knew that stroke was just really a wink from her to say, I'll be with you, keep working, because she had our brochure in her room, and she kept it by the Virgin Mary. She kept it, she prayed. And before because I don't want to take too much time from the show, but Sister Grace and I also had the connection of the Lady Guadalupe, because she was from Mexico, and the Lady Guadalupe was a really important Virgin Mary that I would pray to. So, and then I went to the store one day and bought this huge, beautiful blanket of the Virgin Mary for $20. I mean, it was like, here, you can have it, Renee. So I just really want to Sister Grace to know that I know you're with me, Sister Grace. I know your body is not here on earth anymore, but I absolutely positively know that you are with me and guiding me and helping me and supporting me. Everybody, all the people that that adopted you. So this show and the next show are for my dear friend Sister Grace, and it's a true blessing. Life is a gift. That's the last line of my show. Life is a gift, and we should really value each moment and really be kind to one another, because you don't want to leave this earth with any regrets. So thank you, Jim. Thank you so much, Sister Grace. We love you. Anyway, so sorry about that, Steve. I didn't want to take away from your show, but I really thought it was important for me to share my story about Sister Grace and how she was very, very valuable to me. So, Steve, your energy on Facebook, like, give us a history, like, of how you got to this point doing this wonderful, dynamic work. Like, your energy is just through the roof. But I also know that even though you have a lot of energy, you also do meditation and balance and QiGong. So do they work hand in hand? So give us a little bit of history on you.
Okay, thank you very much. And no, that was great how you were discussing her. And of course, life is a gift. We have to look at every single moment, every single blessing, no matter what. So how did I get to this point, being the owner of Mind Body Dynamics? So I'll mention a few things. So I'll be 61 in a few months.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But you're the first person to wish it this year, so thank you. You win.
I hope we're still friends by the time you celebrate your birthday, though.
So when I was 12, I was a camper in sleepaway camp. I found yoga, 1972. I was curious about yoga, and I had interest in the girls. Nothing happens with girls at age 12, but I got into the yoga. And here it is, almost 49 years later, I've been a student of yoga. When I was 16, my older brother got me to working out. My older sister got me to trading shoulder massage. I was inspired by that. I really got into working out and the yoga, and it's great to make my sister feel good, and then friends, girlfriends. My mom was involved with B'nai B'rith, which, for those who don't know, was kind of like a Jewish Lions Club. So she was involved for years, always between that and many other things, doing what she could to make a difference in people's lives. I was inspired by that. So when I was in high school, Union High School, I volunteered for a physical recreation class on Saturdays for developmentally disabled kids. I also volunteered with senior citizens in an assisted living facility. I loved it. Also, as a camp counselor, I was really plugged into human dynamics, making a difference in people's lives, interacting. I went to Kean University.
I just think it's so that, Judy, you always pull together shows that are in alignment. I mean, I went to camp at Mary Help of Christians when I was young. So just the connection between us all, those types of things. I don't believe I know that is the way life is, but it still blows me away. It's
a sign. It's an angel sign.
Yes. So Steve, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So as it was, when I went to college, I went to Kean University in Union, and I thought about OT, PT, social work, psychology. Ended up going for an exercise science degree because I know how much exercise helped me keep my head on straight. Volunteered for a group nearby, Cerebral Palsy Center. I was on the Kean College Hotline, which is no longer a college crisis intervention center, dealt with 5 suicide calls successfully. Worked at a group home for developmentally disabled adults. So these are different things that shape me. As it is, I wanted to go towards a fitness wellness track, but then with getting my exercise science degree, I went to massage school, college. Everything came to being as the years went on, training towards massage, yoga, later QiGong, clinical.
We can't hear you, Steve. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. While we're getting Steve back, I want to share another wink from God that Steve and I should be. Hang on one second, Steve. Another wink. You know, first we went to camp together, and then he studied at Kean University. My mother was a college professor at Kean University. So, you know, just the connections, you know.
And Renee, in 1974, I was working with the, not directly, indirectly, with the Cerebral Palsy Center. I believe it was in Searington, Long Island, and trying to get different, getting staircases and different things to help children or adults get into buildings and feel comfortable. So I would talk to my clients about it, and I worked closely with the Cerebral Palsy Center, I believe,
Nice.
in Searington.
Small world. Nice. So as it was, I ended up working fitness facilities, place in New York, different things, having some clients between training, massage, yoga, QiGong, QiGong was later. Made a lateral move, became a physical education teacher in Wayne. So I was teaching phys ed. In fact, I'm reconnected to one of my former students who, besides teaching physical education, kindergarten to fifth, his mom had me go to the home teaching him yoga and meditation and a little fitness. And now we reconnected as friends, and he's in his 20s, which is cool, years later. So as it was, I was doing that. Let's say different things happen in life, and I made a shift from physical education. I loved it. Let's say there was just a lot of politics, but I loved it. I made a difference in a lot of people's lives. It was an amazing experience. And I had mind body dynamics on the side. Then I shifted to full-time. So with Steve's mind body dynamics, I take pride that I have really a 360 approach to fitness wellness. I'm a traditional trainer.
Right.
I'm a yoga teacher and a QiGong instructor. And those who don't know of QiGong, Tai Chi and Kung Fu both come from QiGong. QiGong is one of the 4 original forms of Chinese medicine, along with acupuncture, Tuina, the oldest form of massage, and herbology. So I have the background with the fitness. I have a background working with people on nutrition. And then along with it, I'm a massage, cupping, energy therapist for many, many years. And of course, I teach meditation, stress management, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. My clientele, well, I've worked with people from ages 4, preschool yoga, preschool phys ed, up to 106. And it's a real variety. Feel I'm kind of expanding the horizons, the boundaries of what people in my field kind of do. Because I have my traditional clients I can visit. I have locations people can see me. And my clients can be training, massage. For COVID, I was working with seniors in facilities, but that's kind of shut down now. I work with people in recovery from addiction. So it's a lot of ways, a lot of directions I go. And I'm blessed. Work with adults, work with kids. I have 2 kids I'm working with, not related, a 5 and a 6-year-old. Virtually, I'm working with autism. So we're doing more adaptive phys ed. It's really a variety, and I'm really blessed. I'm blessed by it. It's such a blast every day, variety, making a difference.
And it makes you feel good that you're helping so many people.
Oh, sure. And the thing I look at too is that, as I've said to my son Dylan, who is almost 18, who's right now sleeping in the next room, nothing like a teenager. Is that you do what you can to lift others, and then how much do you lift yourself?
Yeah. So Steve, we should really coordinate something as far as stroke patients for recovery.
For sure.
Because I know with my arm, we've spoken about it, that I need to keep it loose. I need to, and the truth is that there's only so much a physical therapist can do for you. Right. They can only help you to strengthen it, but you really need to exercise on a regular basis to keep your limbs.
Isn't there some heat therapy? Don't they have some kind of treatment for that?
Well, you can do heat. There's so many ways to go towards recovery from strokes. There's many. I tend to lean to the holistic ways, but there's many. So it's a case of just seeing what works for the person, because I find whether it's somebody who has had a stroke, someone who's a competitive athlete, or whatever else, I have to see what makes a person tick. We have to see what works, because what works for 9 people is not going to work for someone else. So I need to be flexible, and the communication, the lines of communication have to be so open to see that we really connect, because it's not, when I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't feel in any way that I'm the person. I'm the collaborator with the person I'm working with.
Right. That's true, because I'm a life coach. And one of the things I'm working on in my book is that, how could a coach or a teacher actually provide to you some instructions without getting to know you specifically, because each person is so different, and each person has and what I feel, and let me ask you this question. What I feel is that sometimes you have to get through the blockages in your life, whether it's physical or mental, because you may have fears in you, especially from a stroke, because it's a brain trauma, that you're unwilling to accept like you said, the openness or the understanding of the work you have to do, right? I mean, talk to us a little bit more about that, because that's a really key piece to anything, Steve, right? To exercise, to physical therapy, to stroke recovery, to life coaching. I mean, people could be, not have a single health issue in their life, but their blockages in growing, because
the most important thing is to have a positive attitude and to work at the various therapies to get better, and to say to yourself, I'm going to get better, I'm going to recover, and I'm going to work as hard as I can, as some of our previous guests have mentioned.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't understand that, believe what they're saying. You have to believe what you're saying. You can't just say it. You have to believe it so that your insides know what you're doing. Right, Steve? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. So one of my areas of training is as a clinical hypnotherapist. And once again, the meditation, other things. So there's a term which people are familiar, I think, with the actions, not so much the term counterintentions, because my basic background is life coaching as well. And of course, we know you talk about the blockages. That's it. We can have, how many people have the greatest path to success, but they are holding themselves back. So one thing I need to do, I take pride in learning to see what makes people tick. We need to see what's holding them back. One client may say they want to lose 200 pounds and they're eating bonbons every day. So it's incongruent with what they're saying their action is. Someone else says they want to have the biggest and they're eating landscaping firm, yet they're doing all these things that are not congruent with it. We can go in many other directions.
Right.
So I know I need to look always at myself, to be transparent with myself, to look at my junk and see what I'm doing to keep myself from getting to my goals. So I think it's essential for us to be open. It's not easy to look at oneself. The nitty gritty, as I went through landmark education years ago, which was asked years earlier, and and so they say if a person is addicted, they say you need to hit bottom. Landmark says you're breaking the bottom up. I look at the training through their transformation with a lot of things, really dedicated to looking at myself. Old friend used to say she had rats in the brain. The average person has 15,000 thoughts a day.
Wow. Wow.
And we look at that. So what's going on, right? We all know this. And Renee, you being a coach, as you're saying, what are we doing to hold ourselves back? What self-talk, what negative self-talk is, Judy, you were talking about being positive. We have that self-talk. What's holding ourselves back? We need to just keep finding those ways, whatever it is, in your personal life, in your career, in all areas. And it's not easy.
Yeah, and I took the Jack Canfield class as well. And he said every day you got to get up and you have to do 10 or 15 minutes for yourself. You have to, what's your vision? Come up with a game plan, and every day work that game plan. Work it. Don't let it go. Work it. And as hard as it is sometimes with me, that, you know, with my time restraints, Steve, you know that I do it anyway. Like, you know, like, and Judy, you know, I do it anyway. So Steve, you're the same way. You do it anyway. You get it done. We get it done. No matter what comes in our blockage, we focus and we get it done.
And the one thing that I've overcome is when someone says that can't be done, I say, watch out. I'll show you.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
never take no for an answer.
Exactly. And now here's the thing too. In fact, I'm going to do this, Renee, I think when we may have talked virtually, we did this, but the thing I do with everyone, could everyone please put one hand up in the air? Each of you, and anyone in the audience, pat yourself on the back. We need to acknowledge ourselves more.
Yes. Yes.
We're doing what we can. And now, how good are we at screwing up? I'm fantastic at screwing up. We need to learn. It's okay. We do the best we can. There's a yoga word, santosha, which means complete and total contentment. So not only content with, I could think about my son and I, he just whipped up last night, first time, he made ziti, and it was awesome. Heavier than I'm used to eating. So we're watching old DVDs of chips. We're hanging on the couch, blanket over us, having this great meal, and santosha, total contentment, chilling with my son. At the same time, what about acknowledging you're doing the best you can? You're going to do what you can. We're going to mess up here and there, and once again, we need to learn from that. So
Right.
it's essential.
You could say that failure is a step towards success.
Oh,
Because
of course. When
And you have to fail. You have to fail to know the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, and what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Oh, sure. Be transparent about it. Move on. When I taught elementary physical education, if kids made a mistake, I'd ask, okay, so kids, who here has made a mistake? And most kids would raise their hands. Of course, some were like, no, I never made a mistake. I'd ask, so who has made the most mistakes in here? And sometimes they would just give a look. I ask, who's the oldest person here? You, Mr. Gutman. Who's made the most mistakes? It's okay. We need to learn from it.
Steve, I just made a mistake a few minutes ago when I said stairs instead of ramps.
So there you go. So it's a challenging thing. It's so easy to not acknowledge, especially if you're in politics, if you make a mistake, no matter who you are. So I look at it that one of the greatest strengths you can have is own up to it quickly as you can. Not like it's only always easy. And I'm the first to say I'd love to be right all the time, but that does not happen a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Embrace yourself. Do what you can.
Yep, and it's important to be humble and to have empathy and to admit when you make mistakes and fix them. That's what I learned a long time ago. If you make a mistake to somebody, do the right thing, do the hard thing, call them up, meet them, do whatever you got to do, but have a conversation with them about that mistake.
You're right. And ego can be good, but sometimes it's our downfalling. So the humbleness, one of my favorite words, Renee, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So we talked about the meditation and the really the mind. The mind controls us, you know, what we do in the mind. We just said that. We said, you know, you shared with how many thoughts a person has a day and how we have to keep that uplifted and everything. And, you know, we'll have you back on the show really to talk about strokes, you know, to focus in on stroke recovery. So we'll give you some time to maybe come up with some stroke physical therapy that if they contact you, they could provide for you. And if you want, we could show little videos and stuff on. So, but let's move to some of the programs that you run, because I think it's really important for everybody to know the versatility that you have. Not only do you do QiGong and work on the mind, and I told you this, I love the videos you do on Facebook in front of the water. Like that to me is like so breathtaking to watch the water, and you do things outside. So talk about some of the programs that you run.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so first of all, once again, I'll say that I can see people in 3 different ways. I will travel to people. I have 6 locations people can see me at, depending what it is they need from me.
Steve,
And
what locations do you travel to?
so I have, let's say I have a gym, I have a facility in Florham Park, I can train people. I have a facility in Morristown where people can see me for massage. I have in Boonton, one of the newer locations, a chiropractor has a gym set up there. I can train people there. I have the place in Morris Plains Morris Plains, I can train people. I could also potentially do massage there. I have in Ledgewood a facility, Deep Wellness, where I can be teaching the QiGong I've done, massage, other therapies, and then a facility, Revive Studios in Bud Lake. So it's a lot of locations people can see me at. And that's one thing that goes on. Another thing is, once again, in terms of my programs, so I can do on the physical realm, traditional personal training, meat and potatoes training, as we might call it, yoga, QiGong, but I combine a lot depending on what the person needs or wants. And they may want one thing and then they see, oh, let's go in this direction.
Right.
Since I teach meditation, and I teach a variety of styles of meditation, because there's so many styles out there. There's many I teach, and there's way more out there that I even know of. It's endless. I can teach meditation, different stress management techniques, work with hypnotherapy. I can do this one person. A lot what I can do could be one person or small group or a large group. I have that going on. Massage therapy, once again, I've been a massage therapist forever, so I can work with a person on many different styles of massage I'm trained in. And cupping therapy, which has been just the last few years, and cupping and energy therapy I've been doing forever. In terms of the virtual, most things that I do in person, I can do virtually. Massage, I can't, of course, do.
Right.
But what I've done is I've done a self-massage hitting acupressure points, different points to hit, where I can say, okay, press here, and we can go down. Once again, the yoga, stretching, it's a variety. Public speaking, I am a public speaker. Men's health, women's health, how to stay sane even if your schedule is crazy is a topic of cover for many people, right? All of us, I'm sure. Also, the power of positivity. And then I have so many other. I teach something called Ageless Grace, which is a great modality for anyone, especially great for people who've dealt with strokes, among others, because this is not only about physicality, being in a chair, moving around for 21 different movements, which works your core. We work on strength, cardiovascular, flexibility. It's also very strong on brain acuity.
That's important.
Oh, yes.
So I have a question though, because I know that people are probably thinking this. Does any of that get covered by insurance?
I wish. We've tried before, no luck with what I do. No, and it's funny because I do overlap with modalities I do. I overlap into physical therapy, but I'm not a physical therapist. So a physical therapist could be covered many times. And it's challenging to find the coverage, the insurance policy, wherever you can get it, coverage for massage, a lot of things which I do, which I believe should be covered, but they're not.
Because what I'm thinking is like my arm needs to be massaged 3 times a week. It does. It needs to, those muscles need, because I'm getting atrophy in my arm.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not, especially now, like I'm freezing. So sorry if I'm a little
So
tight.
when you do QiGong shakes, you will get the whole body going. This warms the body. So another thing, forgive me, this is my reflex. You have a kidney meridian. You're going up and down for about a minute or two. It warms the body.
Wow. Yeah. 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 So anyway, but that's something that let's work together on sending letters to government, to our senators, to our congressmen, to our mayors, to the insurance companies, because I'm all about that. I'm all about working to make sure that insurances not only determine the recovery of a stroke patient or anyone. The insurance company sitting in an office can't tell you like you need 6 weeks. The doctors should be able to do that. And if the doctors that we need, if we need exercise, or we need physical therapy, or we need acupuncture. We've had many acupuncturists. We have a lot of acupuncturists on our TV program that we support. And in China, it's prevalent when you have a stroke. Within the first 6 weeks, 6 months, you have to see an acupuncturist because they believe. So all that put together, we really have to come together to work on.
So Steve and Renee, we're going to invite Steve to the round table that was.
I was thinking the same thing.
I've been thinking it for a few minutes. So as soon as we get the letter together,
Steve, we're having with what's the name of the hospital, Judy? I can't think right now.
Good Samaritan Hospital and Dr. Beckley's.
Dr.
Jason Wong.
Wait until you meet Dr. Beckley's and Jason. They're just incredible. I'll send you their information via email.
Good.
Dr. Beckley's is so open and really leading the way in a lot of stroke and brain injury.
And brain aneurysms.
Yeah. Anyway, so a year ago, we were going to do, the hospital was inviting us to have a roundtable discussion in their conference room. But then pandemic hit. So we're gonna still do it. We're doing it in May 2nd, Judy?
Yes.
May 2nd. It really is an important conversation. And that's one of the topics is about insurance. That's why.
And it's going to include doctors, stroke patients, therapists, the whole wide range of people that are affected that can help us with and that's your third mission.
Yeah.
That insurance should not be the determining factor in any kind of recovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we would love to. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Oh no, count me in. I'd be honored to be part of that. Thank you.
Yeah, and you could do it. We're doing it virtually. So,
right.
And hopefully next year we'll be able to do that, because I would like to have keep the conversation going. That's what it's called in May, and then October is our telethon. Those are our two big moments.
Sounds good.
So tell us, we have about 15 more minutes. So give our audience like contact information, your website, just so that they make sure that they could what they're looking for.
Excellent, thank you. So my website is www.mindbodydyn.com.
And you're on Facebook. Give them where they can find you on Facebook.
Okay, so I need to do more with mind body dynamics, but if you saw me, Steve Gutman, you'd see my posts, which, like you say, I did some posts before. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more today. So I'm striving to always be positive, inspire people.
Can they call you direct?
Yes. 201-738-2022.
Just repeat it so that everybody.
And my email address, steve@mindbodydyn, once again, dyn.com.
So what's on your plan to do today so that they can look forward to it? How do you come up with what you're going to do every day on your videos?
Thanks, good question. Sometimes it originates from my head. Sometimes it comes from what somebody says, what somebody does. So it's all kinds of things. And it's been fun. It takes time. But I realized months and months and months ago, I was talking to, I have a few mentors over the years, but my number one is Dr. Jack Barnathan, in my opinion, who's the world's foremost fitness, wellness professional. Amazing man, brilliant. And I said to him, I realized really my mission is really to inspire people. And now that means to inspire people, help inspire them to find the modalities in fitness and wellness that work best for them. And actually, I'm the founder of an event, did something when I was teaching in Wayne years ago, physical ed, called Wellness Week, which then became later on a trademark I have, International Health and Wellness Week, which I ran in 2016, 2019, a worldwide event to help inspire, educate, and motivate people through the world to find modalities of fitness and wellness that work best for them.
Wow.
So with me, So with today, I'll do 1 or 2 more posts. My son Dylan gets his driver's license tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
We'll have quality time. We'll have quality time today, and then we'll all go out tomorrow night to celebrate. We'll have some dinner, and it'll be the first time he says, "No, Dad, now that I have my license, I'm gonna drive by myself." So I'll meet him.
Are you going to be a little nervous about that?
Maybe slight, but the thing is, he's really exceptional with his driving. So when we first started months and months ago, it's been a crazy year with everything, including driver's ed. First time I got behind the wheel with him in my vehicle, he couldn't get over. I was so chilled out. I was so relaxed, which helped him. And I know as an educator, between teaching yoga, phys ed, all the other things I've done over the years, how important is giving person confidence. If you don't have faith in them, that could be make or break. So Dylan saw I was so relaxed right away.
Wow.
And he's got his nerves, but he's very good with his driving. He might be the best. I'm good with parallel parking. I think he's the best I've ever seen. He'll get within a credit card width of the curb.
Wow.
Like
wow.
I look at him like he's something. But I'm a dad. He's the greatest blessing in my life, of course.
Wow.
I have to tell you something real short that's funny. I didn't have a car, but after I was borrowing a car when I took my driver's license, my driving test. And then I went and rented a car and practiced getting on and off highways. And I mentioned it to the place I was renting the car from, and they went, "Oh no."
But hey, you got it. And the challenges. So in exercise physiology, there's a concept called the overload principle, that the more physical demands you place upon yourself, you adapt. You keep running every day, you're going to get faster. You keep lifting, you're going to get stronger. You keep stretching, you'll gain more flexibility. I look at that as part of life with everything, right? You go through the challenges. Renee, when you dealt with a stroke, look at where you're at now. How much more of a powerful person are you, right? We look at all of us. Where's it gone? The saying, those things that don't kill us make us stronger. We know. The more we get those challenges, we may not want them. So another one of my seminars is called Acceptance and Gratitude Regarding Health and Wellness.
Right.
All about being thankful for whatever has come your way, being thankful for it. How have you grown? How have you been able to make an impact?
Yeah.
And Steve, I have to mention this. Renee not only started the foundation and the TV shows and the telethons and had actually the first book, Stroke of Luck, but now she's got a second book about to come out, Extra Innings, and another book called Love the Person Through It. That might be not the exact title. And Steve, she's working on a movie about her life.
That's awesome. Now that's
I don't think small.
well, Renee, I think you and I, we were supposed to connect. I'm so thankful that you reached out to me.
Yes, yeah. I see all the signs, even the, I didn't want to bring this up before because I didn't want to keep boring people with our connection. But you said you do hypnotism, and my dad used to hypnotize. My dad used to hypnotize people with a coin. Now I know I was hypnotized recently by I took the Silva method class. I took that. And it's really very interesting. And I really want to get that teacher onto this program, because the Silva method is not where someone takes your mind and controls you. It's you controlling your own mind and using exactly what you're saying, Steve, the upbeat, the positive, and all that. But my dad used to hypnotize as well. So we're very connected. And I really think that together we could help each other a lot, Oh,
you're absolutely right. Let me just say this, the one thing just to clarify, because hypnotherapy is one of those very misunderstood things.
Yes.
What I strive to do when I'm first working with a person is letting them know they are in control.
Yes.
So we have certain tests to do. So hypnotherapy, person's really always control. You're simply helping to get a person into the most relaxed state. And when they're in a relaxed state, they're taking the feedback.
Yeah.
If you're angry, how much are you going to take in the feedback, the advice someone's going to give you, or whatever it is? Right. When you're relaxed.
Well, then the other, and it's not so much relaxed, Steve. I think this is what you mean. They really have to trust that person to open up, so you really have to have, like, when I was, I'm forgetting her name. When the Silva method teacher had, hypnotized me, she didn't use a coin. She just talked me into a deep meditation.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, sure. So the thing is, it is relaxation, yet there has to be the trust there. So at the beginning, if I can't have the person feel trust in me, then it's not going to work. So trust is big. Trust is.
Yeah. So we're going to continue this conversation. And another thing that came to my mind, which, just start thinking about it, Steve, is, stroke patients and stroke survivors are unique, because you'd say that the mind is, the center of what we do and how we operate. But when you have a brain attack, you're not in control of your mind, and it's different severities. So we have to, and I've been trying to bridge that gap between someone that had a stroke and understanding what you need to do to recover fully. Right. And I was blessed, and I always talk about Dominic. I was blessed to have, everybody else helped me in every single aspect, but Dominic Cortellessa really helped me to heal my brain and understand and navigate. And he's the one that love you through it was he was really a rock for me. So we have to try to figure out and understand and maybe write a book or something about that, because when I was an ambassador for a hospital, they wanted me to go into rooms to support these stroke patients, but to let them know they had to do the work. Now I know that at that particular time when you're in the hospital and after you suffered a stroke, it's not the time. You need to balance, you need to regroup, you need to love yourself through it. The family, everybody's got to love you through it. So we'll continue this conversation about how we could support the stroke community in loving them through it.
Sounds great.
So yeah, that's a really important piece. So give your information once again, where they could find you, your phone number, your email, your website, and then I'll share. Goodbye. We always blow kisses too, by the way.
Oh, that's cool. So my business is Mind Body Dynamics. So let's see, actually I'm shifting it to Steve Gutman's Mind Body Dynamics, and my website is www.mindbodydyn, that's DYN.com. The email address is steve@mindbodydyn, and my number is 201-738-2022.
Well, thank you, Steve. You're really a gift to the world, to the universe. You are. God put you on this earth to really do the work you're doing. So
Thank you. Well, back at you.
yes.
And I'll be calling you shortly. Do you want me to call you in the evening, or do you prefer during the day?
It varies. It just depends on the schedule. So
let him be today and tomorrow, though, because today he's spending time with his son, and tomorrow his son is going for his driver's license.
That's it.
So it'll be Tuesday.
It'll be Tuesday.
I have several dates that you can choose from.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Steve. This is the beginning, only the beginning of where we're going and working together. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It really was an important conversation. Actually, Michael Ray is in our green waiting room, our green Zoom waiting room. And he is the founder of Smile Project Louisville. And Steve, you're gonna, if you can't watch it today, really watch it, because what he does is he brings smiles to people. Smiles to people. And
that's essential. We need those.
Yes. And Judy, when I sent her both the information, she's like, they gotta go together. So,
Very cool.
So anyway, so we're going to take a quick break. We always close out, and then we'll come back with Michael Ray. And hopefully his daughter will be on too. I'm not quite sure. They always sing in the car and happily. So here we go. We're going to blow our kisses on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody. See you in a few.
Bye.
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 Mi amor,
Yes, I'll talk to
yo
you
no
soon.
entiendo por qué tú más que nadie sabes qué pasó en toda mi vida. Yo no sé qué tú piensas, yo no sé lo que haré, yo no sé lo que estoy perdiendo, yo no sé lo que va a pasar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti, no me puedes oír llorar. El día que caminaste por la puerta, todas las memorias No me puedes oír. No me puedes escuchar.